to James and Christelle. We decided that we thought it would be fun to press play and hold a conversation with our friends and kind of dive into the deep discussions that we've had over the past year, which include themes of healing, discovering and overcoming obstacles such as abuse and being vulnerable. And James helped me with this. What are some of the other themes that we thought would be interesting to invite people into a discussion with us?
Other topics we have in mind include things like social media, some of the resources that we've looked at together in terms of healing and therapy. We have had loads of conversations with friends and thought about what we might do to help other people and whether even helping people is a good thing to do. And so many conversations we've had in the last year, and we would love to hear from you during the course of the shows that we try and do. Please put a link, or don't put a link, but put a comment below the show in the YouTube channel. We want to hear from you as well. But for now, we were thinking about 10-minute conversations on a range of topics, and just see what happens by doing that. And so that's the plan. So some of you will be wondering, well, who are you, and what do you do, and why do you two have anything to say about anything at all? So I'm going to hand back to Christelle and ask her, well, what about you do you think people should know about, and what's been life like in the last 18 months or so?
Who am I? Did you ask me who am I?
Oh, let's tell them a bit about you.
Tell them a bit about me. Well, as you know, one of my favorite questions is, who are you? And in fact, when you and I first met, that was one of the first questions we discussed. And it's so important because I think both of us love to have those deep conversations and get to the heart of who people are. And that's been an ongoing point of discovery for both of us, both in our relationship and as we get to know other people. But who am I? I'm sitting here in sunny San Diego. I'm going to show you for a second here. Sunny San Diego, California. I just happen to know this really neat British man all the way across the pond who I enjoy having conversations with. And I'm a blogger. I've worked in the nonprofit sector throughout my lifetime. What do I like to do? I like to work with people. I like to get to know people. I like to work with people as a team. I believe that we are we. I don't believe in us and them. I love to explore and adventure throughout my city, and my dream is actually to explore and adventure beyond now. I love my boys. I have 3 boys. They are my heart and my soul. And most recently, I've written a book, a children's book, and I'm really excited to get it published so that I can share it with the world. The theme is love, and really, really short here. The reason I wrote on the topic of love is because I was told that when you begin to write, make sure that you write something that you want to leave behind for your children and their children. And I had the thought that if anything were to happen to me, if I had one opportunity to leave one thing behind, what is the message that I would want to leave for my boys, for their children, and so on? And that would be the topic of love, even if it just means a discussion and what that truly means. So that's kind of a bit of ramblings about me and who I am. And James, I'm really excited for the world to hear your voice, because your voice is powerful and it's wise and it's compassionate, and you have a lot to share with us. But will you tell us about you?
Well, thank you. I'll accept that invitation. Well, currently, as you can see, I'm not in sunny San Diego. My windows there, as you see, are fairly dark. I'm currently in the northeast of England, where it is about 8 o'clock in the evening, maybe 9 o'clock. And I am, what am I? I am a youth worker, a community worker. I am a writer. I've also had a blog for about 8 years. I just started a new one. I am a dad. I have 2 children. They are both, by the end of the summer, both of them will be adults. I am in my early 40s. And yeah, so that's kind of maybe some other facts. I currently work for the Church of England, and that involves helping churches to respond to poverty, of which we're seeing a lot around because of the pandemic. And so lots of responses to poverty happening, and part of my job is to support and help a team to do that around the Northeast and look at ways that that's possible. So that's kind of what I do. That's kind of maybe some other kind of key highlights and headlines of that. I'm a learner. I think one of the things that I have always found as part of me is learning and trying to find out how things work, trying to understand the world around me and trying to understand how other people exist and like how they behave. And so I think once I started youth work as a volunteer when I was a late teenager, once I started studying that same subject, and even in between when I was even working in an office, actually I would want to learn about management and learn about supervision and learn about how to encourage people to work. But now I think about how to help people to flourish and to be better themselves and to enable them to grow in themselves. And so yeah, so part I think of my journey has been to be able then to encourage others to be able to do the same, maybe learn not to help, not to rescue, but also know that sometimes you do have to help and you do have to rescue because some people are at the very last point. So yeah, I think learning for me is a big thing. Healing for me is a big thing. Growing is a big thing. Things I like to do, I like to read, I like to walk, I like to travel, I play the guitar, I like cooking, and as you may be able to see, I'm in the kitchen right now, so just cooking whilst this is going on. I like doing new things, I like exploring places, I like doing new things in terms of cooking, but I enjoy the stillness and quiet. I like wildlife, being out and about. So many things. Sometimes I think I have too many hobbies, too many ideas, and this may be another one of those too many ideas. But sometimes you just got to take a risk and do some of those things.
The past year, okay, so it's interesting because when lockdown hit, I was working in a homeless shelter, and suddenly we all had to stay home and be locked down and work. I had a child at home who was homeschooling. He's still homeschooling. And so life for me, just like many of our friends and family, suddenly changed immensely. But you know what actually happened? Okay, I'm going to go back. I'm going to do my ADHD talk here. Last year, my New Year's resolution was to enjoy the stillness. So it's almost like don't tell anyone.
That's okay. No one's going to be watching this. That's fine. No one's going to be watching this at all. Fine.
The interesting thing about the pandemic is we were forced into an international, worldwide time of being still. And we had a choice to, and I understand it's very serious. I understand our lives are at risk, and we've lost, unfortunately, many, many lives, and that is very important. And my heart grieves over that. But we also got an opportunity to embrace something new, embrace a stillness, embrace maybe even things that we haven't been able to try before because we were working a 9-to-5 job that didn't allow us some of those opportunities. So a couple of things I jumped into. One was the finishing of my book. Two was suddenly I was able to do some live shows with friends from around the world, literally around the world. I started being able to meet up with people from around the world, people that I had kind of connected with online, but I was able to meet them now face to face on this new thing called Zoom. Who was Zooming before lockdown? Not many of us. And so I was able to start a live show with a co-host in the UK and interview people from around the world. I mean, my favorite thing to do is to sit down at the table with people and get to know their stories and hear their stories and share stories. And in that, I always say, you know, we find out we're more alike than different. And how important is it to get an outside perspective on things that we might need fresh eyes on just for our own selves and for our own inner bubble in our own world that we're in. Okay, let's wrap this up because we wanted this to just be an introduction and introduce who you are, who I am, why the heck we're doing this. We wanted it to be light and fun the first time. So let's sum this up. What can our friends expect in the future from our show?
Okay, what you can expect is us two having a chat, and it hopefully will feel like two people sitting having a chat with a coffee, or what do you drink over there? Like iced tea or cold coffee or some like convoluted high energy, calorie, sugar intensified snack or something like that.
Okay, we know I don't do that because I'd be bouncing off the walls, but I do drink coffee.
So coffee or something?
I drink sparkling. Personally, I drink sparkling water, and it'll be fun to talk about food too, because you and I have a similar food journey. Yeah. But right now, I'm drinking sparkling water.
Excellent. So, what people can hope for or can expect is hopefully us being as much ourselves as possible, even though we know we're talking to you, whether you're watching us on YouTube. It may be we set this up as a podcast as well once we edit it. But you can expect hopefully 10 minutes, around 10 minutes of conversation about a theme, and we'd love for people to suggest things that we can talk about. We've already got quite a long list. We have found that we want to talk a lot more in the last year. Both of us have written blogs for 10 years on a variety of subjects, and it's as if we just want to kind of be more inclusive and participatory. We're not claiming to be experts. We wouldn't claim to be experts on any of the subjects we really talk about, but we do have some experience. So maybe we don't want to consider ourselves being two middle-aged people telling the world how to be. We don't think we'll be putting the world to rights, but we may talk about stuff that people will be interested in, that we're interested in, and just kind of join in. So that's what people can expect. We don't think we'll do more than one session or one video a week. So keep an eye out for that. But maybe one video a week. And we'll put it in this channel here. And please do put comments below. We'd love to hear from you. Like, subscribe, and all that rest of things.
I want to add one thing. I think that people might be surprised to hear in the midst of the show some differences in dialogue and language between the UK and America, because how many times have we had a discussion and not realized we were talking about two very different things? So that might sneak in.
Yep.
All right, our friends, thank you for joining us. Our first show, getting to know us, James and Christelle. I can't wait to chat more, go deep with you, answer questions, ask questions, and just remind each other that, you know what, we're human. We're doing the same thing. We're on the same team. Talk to you soon.
Okay, bye for now. Bye, everybody. I'm not. Can't do that.
You can, my love. Okay, we can start. It's okay.
It's all right. That was a good intro. I can edit that.
I'd love to get my hands. Oh, we're gonna have to edit that. I don't like what I was gonna say. Edit this